mic in order because we got some news, we got some things to talk about. And considering that I'm driving right now, it gives me a little bit of time to talk about what we just found out together. So today is, let us be exact, today is the 19th of August 2021, and currently it is 6:27 Eastern Standard Time, and I just found out that OnlyFans is going to be removing sexually explicit content from their platform. Although they will not be removing nudity entirely, the caveat that sexually explicit content was going to be taken away from their platform in order for them to seek out more investors and to build a more, what they said, inclusive platform. Just hit the news today. They confirmed after months and months of speculation with an interview on BuzzFeed that they are going to be taking it away. So what does this mean? How did we get here? What are the thoughts and feelings? So they announced that it will be changing October 1st. And my first thought was, that is very weird. Or not October 1st, but in October. And I'm assuming October 1st because I thought that is very weird. October would be the start of quarter 4 for 2021. And in most business realms, when you're looking for investors, you want to show your growth, your validity, your engagement. And I'm assuming that what they are doing is comparing quarters 1 through 3 with what is going to happen in quarter 4 and show their investors we're still a viable platform even without the sexually explicit content. So meaning for the first 9 months of the year, there was sexually explicit content and they made X amount of dollars, and they want to show we can still make X amount of dollars without the explicit content, and maybe possibly even more money, which is their frame of they're working on making more money than they're making right now, right? So they need in quarter 4 for there to be some growth and improvement in the money that they've made without the sexually explicit content. So from a platform perspective, as a creator, I have seen other creators who are on OnlyFans talk about the fact that OnlyFans has been adamant that they would not remove sexually explicit content because that's how the platform started. There are a lot of people who had loyalties to OnlyFans specifically because they started with explicit content and said that they wouldn't abandon the creators that built their platform, which it is kind of looking like they're abandoning them. Although nudity will be allowed in some form or fashion, it cannot be sexually explicit. So I'm not sure if that means that they're going to be taking away videos or pornography and just allowing simulated nudes or artistic nudes, or the way in which that coffee book tables get away with putting nudity in bookstores and stuff like that. I'm not exactly sure what a non-sexually explicit platform that allows nudity will look like. And that's kind of crazy because we know with all the other platforms that like Twitter, you can set your notifications and you can set your settings to receive explicit content or set it to not receive explicit content, and you're the chooser of that. And Instagram has decided that they are not going to allow any even simulated nudity or anything inappropriate on their platform whatsoever, and you don't get a choice. So it's going to be interesting to see how OnlyFans interacts with their creators and then the people who monetarily provide for their platform. So I've talked to a lot of people in the past about the reason that they like OnlyFans so much as a person who spends their money, and they said that it was finally the ability to see girls who really wanted to put out nudes and do sexually explicit content, and that there was a stark differentiation between just pretty girls or just, girls on the internet and the OnlyFans type of girls. So in the coming months, it's gonna be left to see if OnlyFans can transition their reputation. Like, if you say, oh, I do OnlyFans 5 years from now, is it gonna be the same thing as those of us who said they did OnlyFans 2 years ago when you knew exactly what it was? And like, what does OnlyFans think that they're going to accomplish in the social media realm? Are they trying to be a new Twitter? Are they trying to be a new Instagram? It's like they had their own niche. They had their own longevity and like mainstay in the platform or in the social media realm of like, we are a monetarily driven like powerhouse for people to bring their communities to. So a lot of people I've talked to in the last couple of hours who've messaged me or, you know, even called my phone with concerns, they're like, we want to go to a different platform. And a lot of times on the internet, other platforms, you know, that even if they have the same pace, great, because that's the biggest thing that most content creators talk to me about is, well, it was an 80-20 split, meaning I get 8 out of every $10 and the platform gets 2 out of every $10, and most other platforms that allow sexually explicit content take a much larger portion of that from the content creator, even up to a 50-50 split where you make $5 out of every $10 that is spent. And other than that being one of the biggest reasons why people have had such an issue moving from OnlyFans, is that OnlyFans is someone's own personal social media account, where OnlyFans wasn't marketing to them, wasn't showing people other creators. If you brought one fan, that fan could, for all intents and purposes, stay your own. Versus if you bring someone to Twitter and Twitter is showing them suggested, or, you know, showing hashtags or like a page where people can follow people freely, you're now a consultant bringing fans to a platform. You're an advertiser bringing fans into a platform. You're giving that control over those people over to the platform. Versus on OnlyFans, people would bring someone and that person would be their fan and they would stay there for them. And that has been an issue for other people, because they say, I don't want to bring my fans to somewhere like ManyVids, and then ManyVids advertise to them and show them contests or show them other girls or show them things that you know, is going to take away money or popularity or attention from the work that that person did into bringing that person onto the platform. You know, so the content creator feels like they're doing all of this work for a platform, they're making less money for the platform, and that platform is then trying to monetize that fan or get, you know, things from that fan that you aren't specifically as a content creator. So all of these things have you know, started to erupt and people are thinking about them. So I wanted to make a video and drop it really quick so that we could start a discussion and bring you know, some comments, or at least help people to have a conversation about the fears and insecurities or things that are going on, realizing that a platform that they've been using consistently and that had promised certain things to certain people is going to go away. Some of us are thinking about starting a change.org petition or a hashtag or something to make a statement to a platform that was built by a certain impression and built by people's hard work and built by people's fan base. So because the platform is thinking October of turning it from sexually explicit content, a few people who do create explicit content have suggested turning their accounts off entirely so that fans would not go to the platform. And when I think about it from an investor's standpoint, it's like, if you starting Q4 and you're saying we're going to turn off explicit content and we're going to show our investors that we're still valid, and then all of your sexually explicit content creators go away, and all that time and energy and money from their fans goes away immediately, and your Q4 is dramatically or drastically altered from what you thought. If you thought that you were going to make $100 million in Q4 and you make $25 million in Q4 because 80% of your content creators have left the platform and are refusing to use it until you turn your guidelines back to the things that you have promised them, back to the reason that they have built your platform, maybe it'll have an impact. Maybe if 100,000 people sign a petition saying we do not want you to change these things, maybe OnlyFans will get the hint or understand, like, you're playing a very a game that has very risky odds, because you're assuming that your platform can jump into the social media sphere of Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram, and that you can change your impression of your platform and all of these things with no hesitation, or just like the people who did the hard work to just lay down and take it and to just be victimized by a corporation because they can. And most women get told to just take things and don't cause a problem and don't have anger or upsetness or don't feel ownership or feel like your energy or effort or anything that you do matters. And it's like a platform that's been created by mostly women and queer people and kink people and the people in society that are marginalized the most, and then to just be told, well, all the money that you've been making and the empowerment that you've been getting and the ideas that young women can be business owners and do things by themselves, and especially for explicit content, hey, you don't have to go in person and risk your safety. You know, the thought of those just being taken away and just, oh, well, they'll just accept it. You know, the OnlyFans girls, the sexually explicit content creators, they can't do anything about it, or they'll just roll over and take it. It's like, that impression to me is just so grotesque, and it's just so foul that a company could think that about their content creators. Because I think if this was a platform of Twitch streamers of white men, how would the white men feel if all of their money was getting taken away, or they had to change their life immediately within 2 months after having built platforms for years for a company? I feel like the white men would be more entitled. And it's like, you know, I sometimes I think as a content creator, you're marginalized because you're an artist. I think sometimes as a woman, you're marginalized because you're expected to provide the like comforts and happiness of the world, so you don't get to ever, you know, express that there may be some maintenance required in you making the world happy. So I don't know, I would at least want to open up the conversation for people, or let other people know that they're not so alone with this OnlyFans stuff.